Hello again. Today I'm gonna be recording in portrait mode again. I tried horizontal yesterday because I thought that maybe by flipping your phone the video would automatically turn, but it didn't. I have to figure it out. So in the meantime, we're just gonna continue with the portrait mode. Today I decided to do a more subtle look. So I did ask on Instagram. I made a little poll asking if you guys wanted to see something more subtle or more bold, and some of you said more subtle. So I am gonna go ahead and recreate something a little bit softer that you could wear for today, Valentine's Day, or just, whenever you feel like you want to wear something light and fresh. I already have my foundation on, my concealer. I usually start with eyeshadow first, but since it's gonna be very light, I don't feel like I'm gonna mess up my foundation. And I already prepped my eyelids. I used concealer, and then I set it with a little bit of loose powder. So that's an option. If you don't want to use eyeshadow primer, you can use concealer or foundation and then just set it with some loose powder. So today I'm gonna start by using my Lorac palette. It looks like this, and it has some pretty matte and soft colors, so I thought it would be perfect for today's look. And so I think I want to go ahead and use these colors up here, maybe a little bit of this purpley one, or even this one, just to kind of darken the outer corners, because I always like to give the eye look some depth. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. What's this? I have no idea. As usual, I like to start with a transition color. And so the reason why I like to start off with a transition color is so that I can easily blend whatever eyeshadow I want to use after. So I'm gonna go in with this one since it is the closest to my shade. This one might be too dark, and we're trying to keep it very natural. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that one. And I have a little tissue where I just clean off like any excess powder. And I am thinking like something matte for today's look, and like gradient, kind of starting light and then a little darker on the outer corner. So very similar to the one from yesterday. Yesterday was a bit more smoky, the colors were a little bold, and it was a little bit more vibrant on the outer corner. Today I want to keep it similar but more on the softer side. So I do try to emphasize here on my crease, but then also blending it downwards and just making it very soft. On the same tissue paper that I have, so let me show you. I just have like a little piece of paper. I'm gonna clean it up and then just go back and just blur out any harsh lines, make it super seamless with my skin. So as you can see, it almost looks like my skin color. After that, we're gonna grab a smaller blending brush, and we're gonna go in with let's do this pink right here. This is the main color. Like, I think I want this eye look to be primarily that nice matte pink. So I'm gonna put it right on the center of my eye. So usually this is where I want like the most intensity, right in the center, and then whatever's left, I just like drag it out to both sides. So something like that. Gonna do the same onto the other side, starting right in the middle and blending it outwards. And then go back with my first brush and then just also blur any lines around it. Super soft. I'm so triggered to just add more color, more pop, but I know like we're trying to keep it very, very minimal. After that, I'm gonna go in with this one. It's super light color because I want my inner corner. Ooh, super pigmented. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put some of that onto the other side. I'm gonna clean off my brush. So if that ever happens to you where you pick up a little bit of shadow and you just realize it's too much, just clean your brush on the tissue and then just go back with no product and then just softly blur it into the other colors. So it's very forgiving makeup. I know it could be a little scary if you're just starting out with makeup, but it's super forgiving. Honestly, just don't be scared of it. As you can see, we're just blurring it into the pink. And there it is, super soft, fresh. I love that the weather is also starting to warm up a bit, so it starts to feel like spring. You could even add a little more. I forget which color. Oh, it's this one here. Tap it because we already know it's pigmented. And just a tiny bit right here. So this is perfect for my girlies who just want a little something, like nothing crazy. I'm gonna grab another brush a little bit bigger than the previous one, same color as I used on my lids, and I'm just gonna pop it right under my brow just for a bit of highlight. And then I'm going back with my crease brush and just blurring out any harsh lines. Could also take it around and kind of define the shape that you're going for. I always like to keep it kind of elongated. I don't know, I just like that look. And there it is. Now for liner, I am gonna go in with a winged liner, but I'm keeping it very soft. And the way I do that is by using brown eyeshadow. So there's a couple options depending on your skin tone. If you're super light skinned, then I would say go in with something like this or this. And if you're darker toned like me, then you can get away with using this or maybe this one here. It's just preference, so play around with it. If you start with the lighter one, if you feel like it's too light, then you can go ahead and intensify it with a darker color. For me personally, I think I'm gonna go in with this one right here, and I'm gonna top off any excess. I'm gonna start with the outer corner, and this palette, it's very confusing. Some eyeshadows are super pigmented, others are hardly even showing. So this could also be a sign, like if it's hardly showing on your skin tone, this is how you can tell, like, okay, we can do something a little darker. So I'm gonna go in with the shade right next to it, or actually let's go in, no, yeah, let's go with this one. And popping it right on my lash line. So the width of my liner, I'm basing it off of the width of this brush right here. So this is a good guide. I'm simply placing it like I'm not pressing my brush like this. I'm literally putting it pointing towards my eye, and it's the same size as the brush. So once I create all along the line all across my eyelid, I then tilt, like turn it to where the long point is at. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit more, and I'm barely gonna touch it and just bring it in. Okay, so that is hardly making any difference. I'm going to get a brown eyeliner. So change of plans, because this is not showing at all. Actually, this might be cute. This liner, it's actually a little bit more reddish, but I kind of like it. So there's options, like you could customize this to your liking. If you want to do it lighter, different colors, just take the technique and, you know, use it to your preference. I am gonna take this liner, which is a little bit reddish, but I kind of like it, not gonna lie. And I'm just gonna place it right across, like right over where I did my liner. And I'm going to make a little wing, nothing crazy, just a tiny bit. I'm gonna do the same on this side. And it's hard, I'm using my phone my the video as my mirror. So right at the corner of my eye, I start putting my winged liner and then just connecting it to the top. And it's almost like I'm creating little dots. I find like that's the easiest way, just to make it less, like more forgiving, if you do like little tiny dots as you go, rather than going in and then just drawing a long line. You can just tap, create little strokes, and work your way. And then, because eyeliner tends to move, especially if you have oily eyelids, I like to set it with eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go in with a color similar to this liner, and I'm thinking it's between this one and this one. So I'm going to mix both colors with a little bit more of this one, because I think like that's the closest one. Or actually, I might have a color similar, but it's from a different palette. It's from the Salvaje from Becky G, and but that one's too red. Actually, this one, or even this one might do. I'm gonna go with this one, keeping it more brown. So this is Malbec. And I'm basically just putting it right over that liner just to set it. That way my liner doesn't move around throughout the day. And now do the same on the other side. I kind of stopped doing winged liner for a while, because I remember I would wear winged liner every single day, and whenever I wouldn't wear winged liner, I would look so weird and different. So then I didn't like that, and I stopped doing a winged liner for a long time, or I would do it occasionally. But lately I've been finding myself doing it more. I think I don't know, trends come and go, so now I'm starting to like it again, but I'm trying to be careful not to overdo it, because I don't want to look weird without liner. So that's that. Honestly, you can stop right there. You know, you don't need to do anything else, because we're trying to keep it super super minimal, trying to adjust the light so you can see it a little better. So super minimal, soft. The liner is optional. If you don't want to do the winged liner, you can stop like right at the corner of your eye. You don't have to extend it. You can do brown, you can do black, you can do whatever color, or simply no liner at all. You could just even tight line, like if you get a brush, like the same brush you used on your eyelid, and lift your eyelid and then just tight line. You can do that as well. So yeah, there's different options. So we're gonna keep it at this. I'm so tempted to add glitter, to add like another winged line, like a cut crease. I'm so tempted, but I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna do my brows. I don't usually do anything to my brows, because I like the more natural look, but I do feel like this I feel like today my never mind, I can't find it. I was gonna go in fill in my eyebrows a little bit, just because I feel like the foundation got on them, so they're looking a little light. But I think my teen daughter went through my makeup and might have taken it. We share makeup, and it's fine. So I'm gonna take a what's it called, an angled brush again. I'm gonna take an angled brush, and I'm gonna go in with a matte brown. So for eyebrows are tricky, so you always want to use a shade or two lighter than your hair color. My hair color is super dark, so I'm gonna go in with this, so which you can see it's like 2 shades lighter than my hair, right? Like it's more on the brown side, because eyebrows are, you know, like you can go like with a dark color and then they're not forgiving at all. So I like to start creating a line right under my brow just to define it. This is like how we used to do brows back in the day, or at least how I used to do it. Gonna grab a little bit more. So the most intense part of the brow, it's gonna be right in here, like in the middle, and then whatever's left, I'm dragging it inward. And then this is where it gets interesting. I kind of tilt my brush like upwards a little bit, and I start bringing that color up. If that makes any sense. But I'm not putting more product. I'm simply carrying from that line that we first created. I'm bringing it up, and you could even turn your brush to create little strokes, and then slightly turning it, and then right here. Sometimes I like to intensify this little arch up here, so just a tiny bit. And then whatever's left, start, and then with light pressure, bringing it down like this. And there it is. Then if this becomes too harsh, you could also use your finger and gently just kind of go over that inner part of your brow to make it soft and kind of like gradient from light to dark. So I'm gonna repeat that process again on my other eyebrow. So I take the color, top off any excess on the tissue that I have, start right here, right in the middle. This is where I want the more intense pigment, right in here, and then dragging it to the inner part of my brow, and then to the outer. Eyebrows are so complex, like there's a whole art to it. I feel like you gotta know where they stop, where your arch will go. I could make a full video on just an eyebrow tutorial because they are so complex. And I'm dragging up that color, intensifying that arch, turning it and making this soft. So how I know where to stop, you basically want to take the sides of your nose and follow that line up to meet with your eyebrow. So this is your starting point right here. So that's how you know where to stop. And then just making it a little softer. And there it goes. Super soft, but it makes a difference. Next for blush, I want to do, let's see, I like to place it right next to my face because then I can see what color will look nice. And I'm thinking I want to do this one today. So I'm gonna get my blush brush, tap off any excess, and just apply it on my cheeks. Super, super soft and fresh. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video, curl my lashes, apply mascara, and then I'll meet you guys back for the lips.